What's good, y'all? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Petey Mac. Man, get on up here. Pull you up one, light you up one, kick your shoes off. Relax, baby. You around family. We on the porch. It's Pete McCorvey's Porch Talk. Let's do this.
What's good, people? This your country cousin, Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Petey Mac, and I am back from Germany. I am back on the porch. I know my schedule been out of whack because I was off the porch over in Germany, and I had a ball, man. Hey, Germany don't owe me nothing, man. I got to go to Munich. I told y'all about Nuremberg. Munich is... oh my God, that place is beautiful, wonderful. Oh my God, the women there was just as beautiful, if not even more beautiful than what I saw in Nuremberg. A lot of wonderful sights. I got to see the site of the 1972 Olympics, which was historical, both in a good way and a bad way. Because, you know, in the 1972 Olympics, the men's U.S. basketball team, which was still comprised of college athletes, they lost by 1 point to the Soviet Union. You know, that's what Russia was a part of back then. Ask your mama, y'all, in most cases, y'all grandmamas, because, you know, y'all grandmamas about 50, 60 now. You know, that's the age of my mama, but I digress. About the Soviet Union, they'll tell you where they lost to the U.S. men's basketball team lost to the Soviet Union basketball team on a controversial call. So it was by 1 point. And now the Soviets had professional athletes. You know, they weren't letting us have them. You know, America was like, no, it's supposed to be amateur and all that. But this right here was probably the catalyst for 20 years later. And y'all know what happened 20 years later. Yeah, Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, you know, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Chris Mullin, Scottie Pippen, a couple other people went over to Barcelona as part of the Dream Team. They was the first professional athletes to play basketball, and of course, they brought us back to gold. I mean, listen to that grouping of guys, man. How could they not bring us back to gold? You know, you had two at that time. Well, hold on, not two. Hold on, wait a minute. You had, Magic had his 5 rings, and I think Larry Bird had his 2. And then Scotty and Mike had their 2. So you had like almost damn near 9, just shy of 10 rings. And on top of that, you did have 10 rings. Hold up. Matter of fact, you had 11 because you had one player on there that gave us 2 back-to-back NCAA titles. That's right. Christian Laettner was the only person on that team that was not a professional athlete. You know, he played for Duke, and he just came off the 1992 national title game, which, if it wasn't for him hitting that shot in the Elite Eight against Kentucky, they wouldn't have gotten to, even though Christian Laettner did stomp on old boy from Kentucky's chest, and he shouldn't have been in the game. I'm a Duke Blue Devil fan saying that, but yeah. 1972 Olympics, that probably raised the first red flag to say, hey, we need to start putting our professional athletes in there because we getting our ass kicked. But also, it was also a somber moment because, for those of y'all who don't know, when they have these Olympic Games, that whole area by wherever they're playing, they fix that up, renovate that, and make that what they call it, the Olympic Village. And that's usually where they house all their athletes. Now, tragedy struck on September 5th, 1972, when Palestinian terrorists attacked the Israeli athletes. It was 11 of them. They attacked them. They held them hostage, and they had a long standoff. And at the end of that standoff, all 11 of those athletes lost their lives, as well as one German police officer. And I've seen this on many documentaries, many movies, and I always was chilling when ABC World of Sport, Jim McKay, he got on there and he said, they're all gone now. So to be able to go to that spot and see where history takes place at, that was chilling. That was very chilling, very somber moment. May those 12 souls, those 11 athletes, and that one police officer, many souls continue to rest in peace. Also, not too far from that, actually, matter of fact, right, like maybe a 2-3 minute walk from there. It's crazy because BMW's headquarters / museum is there, like their history of museum is there. Man, the cars they got in there. I didn't know BMW had been around that long. They used to make, like during World War I and World War II, they made airplanes, engines and all that. Like, matter of fact, that was explained. If anyone of y'all ever seen the movie Finding Forrester with Sean Connery and Rob Brown, for those of y'all don't know that dude's name, that was Kenyon from Coach Carter. Black folks, I don't know why we call somebody from their name. Rob Brown's character name was Jamal. He explained that to this white guy who was being prejudiced because he pulled up to the neighborhood to drop something off, and he saw Jamal, thought he was a thug. Now I realized Jamal is damn near rogue scholar, and Jamal explained that to him. And while I was in there, man, saw all kind of cars. I saw car Steve Urkel used to drive. For all of y'all who's clown Steve Urkel, Steve Urkel actually used to drive a BMW. That's right, Steve Urkel drove a Beamer. Saw cars that Nazi leaders used to ride around in, not only just Nazi leaders, saw cars that, not just cars, but saw motorcycles. Like if you ever seen some of them old World War II movies, you'll see the Nazi leader coming up on a motorcycle, most likely those are BMWs. But the car that I saw that did it for me was it was a hard top model, but y'all ever seen Paid in Full? Remember the cherry red Beamer that Ace gave Mitch when he hit the bricks after being on Rikers? They had that one, and the only difference was 1986. BMW sedan. Man, the only thing, like I said, was different was what he gave Mitch was a convertible. That one was a hard top, but it still was, like Mitch told Ace, that was very, very fresh. It's very, very fresh, B. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, BMW ain't my favorite brand of car, but I don't care who you are. Ain't nothing fucking with a cherry red Beamer, man. Nothing is messing with a cherry red Beamer. Oh my God, that is the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful cars in the world. Like late 80s, early 90s cherry red Beamer, and like a 1964 Impala SS and a 96 Dope Boy Impala SS. They're probably the three most gorgeous cars I've ever seen in my life. So I was glad to be able to see that. I will say this though, whoever designed that museum, while it was a dope ass museum, the museum was very disorganized, very hard to get out. I feel like a rat in a maze, man. Cause you'll start up one place and the exhibit will take you down there, but there's not a way out. Then you gotta come back and go towards like between the second and third exhibit you saw, and then go up, and then when you go up you gotta come right back down and then follow that down. And to get it was like, the navigation was very confusing. They had models of some beautiful cars, but the navigation in there was terrible. But still, like I said, all in all, I had a wonderful time in Germany. I've already expressed how I felt about how the women look like G Money said on New Jack City. Oh Lord, the women Yo, they was out there. They was out there. And not just German women. I see some women of Asian descent. Actually, I chopped it up with a woman from Brazil. I don't know why it is. I called my friend and I told him, I said, bro, I'm over here in Europe and I still, had just a Latina just gravitated toward me, man. I ain't saying like it went down or nothing like that. I'm going to tell you why it really didn't get down. I mean, we was cool and we was talking. But she did something that turned me all the way off, y'all. We were talking, and she said something in the accent. I didn't hear it at first, so I asked her to repeat it. And then when she repeated it, y'all, it made my stomach turn. The woman asked me, we was talking about life, philosophy, just all kind of stuff, love, hate, all things in between. But she said this one thing, and I thought it was only something that American women did. She asked, what's your sign? Y'all ever played y'all remember playing Street Fighter back in the day, and you finally about to beat him Bison. He down the last little bit of life. You down to the last little bit of life. Music going real fast. Doom, 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 doom. That's not M. Bison music. That's Chung Lee. But that's the only one that stand out real tough to me was her music. You jump in the air. You go for a hit. They go for a hit and say KO. And you don't know who it is that really got KO because it smashed real big. And then you both fall back. And y'all both coming down. But they hit the backflip while you just keep falling. That's how I felt when she did that. It was like, she was like Deshaun Jackson. Y'all remember when Deshaun Jackson, remember when he ran the ball in and right on the 1 inch line, he threw the ball over his shoulder. That's what it was. She was Deshaun, not Lynch, Deshaun Jackson. I'm thinking about Marshawn. I'm getting him, Deshaun's not Deshaun Lynch, Deshaun Jackson. She pulled a Deshaun Jackson, y'all. She was right there. Foot was about to hit the goal line. Before it could break the plane, she threw it over her shoulder. It just, y'all, you talk about my heart shattered. I don't know if I ever, like Tony Braxton, I don't know if I breathe again, man. 'Cause she was so beautiful and Latin, speaking that Portuguese, and I digress, man. Look, let me go ahead and get into the episode, man, because I break my heart again. Before that, get to the episode. Had another video go viral. 100,000 K. Not 100,000 K. 100K. I did 100K, which is 100,000. That video I did about Angela Simmons and Yo Gotti breaking up. Boy, that thing did numbers. Boy, it seemed like the videos I put effort into, nothing happened. The video I just do on the whim, because I was on the whim, they do numbers. They flip like bricks, man. But I'm happy about that. I just look back, I've had at least one video go viral every month of the summer. I'm proud of myself. I'm not being boastful, but I'm really, really proud of myself. I may have found my niche. But anyway, just keep fingers crossed. I'm trying to get over the best way I can, y'all, man. Y'all pray for your country, cuz I hope everything go right, man. And I hope y'all get over whatever y'all dealing with. But now I'm going to go into this episode. So, I was sitting up, and I was just thinking about a lot of, white movies. Some of the white movies out there are very funny. Like 40-Year-Old Virgin, Pineapple Express, Grandma's Boy. A lot of them are extremely funny movies, that you wouldn't think, that didn't really cater to hood people, but the hood fuck with them. And we just can't not, you go in the hood anywhere, and you'll hear people quoting these movies. And, you know, some of your Caucasian, like some of my Caucasian friends, they got some problem. Like, you guys like that movie? Like, yeah, not everything the Caucasian people y'all do, we think is weird. And that goes from, like, some of the stuff y'all wear. Because a lot of us, we'll throw some Chuck Taylors on too. Hell, go out to L.A. They throwing Chuck Taylors and Vans on. We'll listen to some of y'all music. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a fan of 80s rock. Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes, Tears for Fears Shout, and Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive go quadruple platinum in my car on more than 5 nights out the week. And I'm going to be honest, I like some of the stuff you white people say, like for insult. Like, one of my favorite insults y'all have is doofus. I love doofus. Doofus and schmuck. I'll say that anytime I'm like, man, like somebody do something stupid, like, why would you put that over there? Or, man, why would you do that, you fucking doofus? Or like, why would you do that, you damn schmuck? I just like the way it roll off the tongue, just fun, like, you fucking schmuck. Damn doofus. So, yeah, but like I said, y'all movies are part of that too. We got some movies we can quote like that, just like how, you know, you got white people that can quote Friday better than somebody who grew up in the hood, because Friday's a universal movie. I found out. And these movies, why they are, okay, the white people call them white movies, they actually become universal. And I'm going to give you 5 of my favorite white movies. Coming in at the number 5 spot for my favorite white movies is Napoleon Dynamite. I love Napoleon Dynamite. Now, I'm not going to lie. First time I watched Napoleon Dynamite, I had to watch in drama class in high school. I didn't really understand what was going on. I thought it was the craziest shit in the world. But the movie is, after going back and watching it, like, again, when I got to college, I watched it with a couple homies in one of our dorm rooms. We had a couple of drinks, and some other guys had some other stuff. You went to college, you know what was going on. And the movie was hilarious. Just downright hilarious. It was just irrelevant shit in there. Just random stuff in there. And it was just so funny. Like, Napoleon's mannerisms was funny. And I found out this about the movie. So 2 people that was in that movie, nobody had any idea they were. So Uncle Rico, a lot of y'all know about Uncle Rico. That's Uncle Rico is actually, if you watch Martin the first, I think 1 or 2 seasons that Martin was on, the white guy Sean that used to work at the radio station with Stan and Martin. That's Uncle Rico. That is indeed Uncle Rico. A lot of people don't know that. That is indeed Uncle Rico. And also the scene where Napoleon had, like, right after he met Pedro, he called Pedro because Pedro didn't come to school. Pedro's sister that answered the phone, that was played by the same chick that played Carla on Next Friday. Yeah. Looked it up. That is the lady who played Carla on Next Friday. But it was all kind of stuff in that movie, man. Like when, you know, Uncle Rico throwing the steak and Napoleon when he riding up on the bike. Napoleon with the little spear fingers, the fingers interpretation he was doing. My favorite scene, though, is a small scene, is when Kip was trying to demonstrate how indestructible the Tupperware him and Uncle Rico was selling, and he said he gonna prove by backing over it with his truck, so it wouldn't. He hit the reverse, backed over one way, and popped instantly, and he just looked down and he looked down quietly, went dang it, and just put the car in drive and took off. That is my favorite part of the whole movie. Oh man, but yep. Number 5 is Napoleon Dynamite. Now, number 4, it's The Hangover. The Hangover it's one of those buddy comedies, one of those raunchy buddy comedies. You know, got Zach Galifianakis, Ed Helms, and Bradley Cooper. Actually, this movie was my introduction to Bradley Cooper. I never really paid attention to Bradley Cooper before that. This was my introduction to him. And it was just all around just funny. Just showed mishaps of what it goes down in Vegas. Just raunchy buddy comedy. And the fact that they was able to get Mike Tyson in there, that's probably what did it for me and made me like, because Mike Tyson was in there, especially when they stole his tiger. And they were talking about them stealing tiger. Said, man, you just be glad you ain't end up like Omar. And then his bodyguard took his hat off and was like, oh yeah, and put his head down as if he's thinking a memory of it. And then one of the guys said, what happened to he said, what's up with Omar? And then Mike Tyson said, don't worry about Omar, he ain't with us no more. I looked at it like, man, fuck, he dead, but fuck all, he dead, but fuck all that, we ain't worried about him. Oh man, like, and the camera roll at the end was just amazing. It's like crazy shit that go on in Vegas. You wouldn't want it to happen, but it's like it makes for good memories. And it's a great, like, it was a great movie. Loved it. Just all kind of wacky mishaps. Just all the minor characters, they were funny. Like the two cops. They had a black sassy lady. And she was like, who we gonna go to Vegas, go get fucked? You think you gonna do that? Not up in here. And then her white partner, he just like mimicked her, not up in here. But he like tried to be sassy, but he was real like Caucasian-y with it. But it was funny the way he executed it. Mike Epps, they had Mike Epps pop up in there. His cameo was good. Dr. Ken Wong, he was good as Mr. Child. So long, gay boys. Oh man, he low-key coined the term with that one, because people were saying that leaving parties or leaving functions for a long time. But like I said, that comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3. It's a chick flick that I got on here. I had to watch it back in high school because I remember my uncle, he had his 2 nieces, my step-uncle had his 2 nieces visiting for the summer. So, y'all gotta remember, this like 03, 04, so there wasn't no DVD player in that room. Hell, ain't no DVD player now, because DVDs really ain't that big of a thing no more. So, they wanted to watch How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I went to Ken, I'm like, man, this is a chick flick and all that, but then I watched it, and I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all. That is not only one of my favorite white movies. That's one of my favorite movies, period. Cause it low key, cause it was like showing how absurd dating was, finding love, and then it showed it in New York, and who don't like seeing people try to fall in love in New York? Thought it was good, Matthew McConaughey. It was wild to see Matthew McConaughey do that, because looking back, he had decent, good body of serious work. Like, I'm gonna be honest, how he didn't win an Academy Award for Time to Kill, or was even nominated for Academy Award for Time to Kill, is beyond me, because that man did his thing. But to see he can go from doing something that serious to something this, silly, it was good. It was a testament to his acting. Kate Hudson, gorgeous as always. That yellow gown she had on at the end, breathtaking. It ended real cliche, but hey, it was funny and it was charming, and I like it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can be hard and like some charming shit. Don't judge me. Judge your bald head mammy. That's what you do if you don't like how I feel about that movie. Now, coming in number 2, this movie, I liked it because it was just a movie for its time. It's the movie for its time, and it was made in 1995. Now, 1995 we was coming out of the early 90s. And we was like, it was the bridge. It was starting the late 90s. So it was like that bridge between, everything was popping at that time. It was in its prime, Nickelodeon was at its peak with Snick. You know, they was doing their thing with all that and Are You Afraid of the Dark? You know, Ren and Stimpy was out. Rugrats was in their prime. You know, music was good at the time. You know, TLC was on the charts. Drew Hill, I think, was just about to come into the picture. Friday had just been released. I think Get Shorty had just came out. You know, 95 was just, it was a good, what other movie came out? Was it Apollo 13? Apollo 13 that came out. Like I said, 95 was just a good year, you know, for TV, like TGIF. It was in its peak at the time. It was just like hitting its peak right before it about to tip over. 96, 97 was when TGIF started to like go on the downslope. And this movie played into the times, especially for like how teenagers moved, especially teenagers of influence. And that is Clueless. Clueless was just right in every pocket. I think when my parents recorded Clueless off of HBO for me, I think I watched Clueless every day for about maybe 5 months. Because it was like the fashion, you know, a lot of the slang they would use. The only slang that I had never heard before was as if Cher, played by Alicia Silverstone, was saying that left and right. And I didn't really understand a lot of the jokes back then, but now that I got older and I rewatched it a couple months ago, now all of those jokes made so much sense to me. And I like that movie because, one, I'm not gonna lie, I had the biggest crush on Alicia Silverstone. That woman she was it for 1995. If they had a teenager with, I think she's like 20, like the woman of the year for 1995, that woman should have been woman of the year for 1995. Stacey Dash was looking good. You know, she hadn't lost her fucking mind yet. She was beautiful. And I think she was damn near 30 when that came out. Like I said, it was just a great movie. Like I said, I love the style of it. I love how they use the slang. They didn't have it over the top. It wasn't used wrong. Actually, I read somewhere that the director went and hung out at a Beverly Hills high school so she can like capture the essence of it. So she can know what exactly she wanted to like portray the students and how she wanted to film it and everything, how she wanted to talk. And she did a big one with that one. Cause yeah, that was right on point. I remember I had said some of the jokes I didn't understand. Now, one joke that went over my head, but I caught it now, is when they was trying to play tennis and all the girls had an excuse, and Amber, who was Cher, Alicia Silverstone character's biggest rival, she said, I can't participate in this because my plastic surgeon said I can't do anything that involves balls flying at my nose. And then Dion, who was Stacey Dash's character, who is Alicia Silverstone's Cher's character's best friend, she just immediately said, well, there goes your social life. Now, as a little boy, I didn't get that. But when I watched it now as 36 years old, I'm like, God damn. And for that to be PG-13, that was kind of risky to say that. But yeah, like I said, I liked Clueless because it had me, I like watched it thinking, damn, I can't wait to go to high school and have it be like that. Now, my number one white movie is on here because it is actually how high school was, so to speak. That is the 2000 classic, Superbad. So Michael Cera and Jonah Hill. That movie just funny from top to bottom. Oh my God, the raunchiness of it, it just was hilarious. Like the whole, y'all know the scene I'm talking about. The drawing dicks. I remember watching it like, what the hell am I looking at? Just couldn't believe it. That scene. was hilarious. The part where McLovin gets knocked out trying to buy the beer, the woman screaming, the man just reaches in there slowly and grab all the money and just takes off after robbing them. Then the two cops, they just was like inept idiots, but they were just so lovable. But the thing that was the piece of the resistance for the movie is this movement that is started. And that's when one of the characters, Fogel, ended up getting a fake ID. And the fake ID only had one word, and that was McLovin. Man, you saw those t-shirts pop up everywhere. I had one. Damn near everybody had one of those t-shirts. And I didn't mention this with Napoleon Dynamite. Just like how everybody had those Vote for Pedro shirts and let me get some of your tots. Everybody had a McLovin shirt. It either had the fake ID on there or it had I am McLovin, but it popped. I mean, it was a movement, man. If you ain't have like, I saw dudes in like the teen clubs and on the street in Forces or J's, you know, Jabot or Ibizu or Red Monkey, jeans on, headband or fitted with a I am McLovin t-shirt on. And that part funny to me because I like when he had that and they said that Fogel told him, said, you get in the name you want down there. And Seth was like, so you landed on McLovin? And Fogel was like, yeah, it was either that or Muhammad. And Seth Law said, why the fuck would it be between that and Muhammad? Why didn't you choose a normal name like a regular person? And Fogel hit him with some, and this was amazing because this is before Google. He said, Muhammad's most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for once. And I actually Googled it. Right when Google took off, because I was just like, wait a minute. I was watching it a couple years after the movie came out. When Google first started taking it, I'm like, what is the most commonly used name on earth? And sure enough, it was in fact Muhammad. So Fogel knew what he was talking about. But yeah, those are my 5 all-time favorite white movies, so to speak. And I'm going to watch them every time I come across them on a streaming platform. Hell, a couple of these I done bought. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to go watch Superbad when I get done talking to y'all. Anyway, y'all, this been my time on the porch with y'all. You know, y'all can find me on Facebook. You know my name, Pete McCorvey. Y'all can find me on Instagram, PDMac10. That's PETYMAC10. You can find me on TikTok. That's PDMac89. Same as it is on Instagram. Just drop the 1 to 0, add an 8 and a 9. Until next time, y'all be cool, stay calm, and get paid. Peace.